Good afternoon. It is, again, the 29th of June. I say again because I believe my last video was that date, which I'm going to post tomorrow. In any case, well, no, this must be the 27th of June. In any case, I was sitting here drinking my coffee, and I was doing a little pruning, and I was surrounded by my fig trees everywhere, and a persimmons tree. Beautiful, beautiful fig trees that I love so much and admire. I'm truly in heaven here at this location because of my large yard, my garden, my fig trees, many fig trees. I'm just doing some pruning, as you can see, and that's what the discussion's going to be about in a second. Just give me a second and hang in there and stay with me. I'm looking at my Bordeaux now, which I featured not long ago in my first walkthrough of my, what I call my front side orchard, which I have many beautiful fig trees, different varieties, all been proven and successful in my zone 7A over the years. And here is Malta Black, and here's Alma, and here is LSU Tiger, and over there in the distance is another of my Bordeaux trees, and O'Rourke over here against the house, and my wonderful, fabulously fantastic Peter's Honey, which is making Breba, by the way. They're softening up and they're almost ready to eat. In a few days, you can see, oh, there's one up there, look at that. Do you see it? Let me see if I can get in there for you. Look at that. Give me another day and that one, it will be devoured, and I'll share it with the Debbie, of course. Don't I always? But there's Breba there, O'Rourke, and then my majestic and very old, probably over 30 years, Celeste tree, very big. It's been cut down many times down to the ground, and it needs another chopping. Debbie's been after me. I'm probably going to capitulate, surrender. Over here, I completely missed out showing you this in my video, which was titled First Walkthrough Front Side Orchard. I don't know, there's so many trees here, I just overlooked it completely, but this is my Violet de Bordeaux, and it's kind of shaded in, which is, I guess, the result ultimately of poor planning, you might say, because I put these gigantic, now they're gigantic Sajos. Look how far away that Sajo is. But I never thought when I planted it that it was going to get in the way of my fig trees up against the house. But it has. On this corner, it has. Still, notwithstanding, they produced good fruit. This is a Violet de Bordeaux, and what you're seeing here are some very handsome Breba, you see, on last year's wood. Still getting good growth. Now I was forced, because of the lankiness of the branches, to avoid the lankiness, I was forced to pinch. I very seldom pinch, but here's a perfect example of when I do pinch, because I don't want too much new growth. You see the new growth? I don't want a lot of new growth. I want to stop the new growth and contain the size of the fig. Of course, these branches are reaching up for sunlight. They're starving for sunlight. Now, will they mature? Will they ripen? Will these Breba? Let's take a look at some more. There's more. Look, there's lots of Breba on my Violet de Bordeaux. Look, aren't they beautiful? Aren't they magnificent? And they will be very good. They will be very tasty. Look how many there are. And there are more back there. Look, can you see them back there? They're all over the place. Now, listen, they'll be good. They'll be tasty, but will they be as good if they were out in the full sun the way I would prefer them to be? No. Period. Absolutely not. Will they be great? Will they be delicious? Will they be a treat? Will I take great pride and enjoyment in devouring these figs when they come into fruition? Absolutely I will, of course. Because any good ripe fig is better than no good ripe fig. And all ripe figs are pretty good, okay? Just some are better than others. The ones that were raised in a better environment and more sun, or maybe with more proper care and nutrients, so on and so forth. Let's go back a little bit further. Let's look in here. Oh, okay, there's some more. There's some more up there, if you can see them. And they're getting close. They're getting close to ripening, I can tell. And so there's another one there. I'm going to have fun eating all these Violet de Bordeaux, Briba. And last year, although Violet de Bordeaux, and there's different strains. This one's the broadleaf strain, which you don't have them little fingers as much. The fingery kind of like over here, which is more what you would associate with Violet de Bordeaux. But that's kind of really in a very small percentage of the leaves that are usually displayed on this tree. And again, it's another variation, which I don't prefer as much, I must say. I like Negrone, which of course is Violet de Bordeaux, and there's other named so-called varieties, which are all very closely related to Violet de Bordeaux. But still, we have to recognize that there are differences, legitimate differences, variations in the different strains, just like with Celeste and just like with the Mount Etnas. Although they are very, very close in family to one another, genetically probably nearly identical, still these little manifestations that in time exhibit themselves can be of some importance. Okay, this particular one of the drawbacks is that the main crop figs do not like to ripen early enough, really, even in my 7A zone, then suits my taste. I'm very, very, very selective when it comes to having figs in my collection that aren't quite early enough. I will take them out. I will remove them. I don't want them in my collection. Okay. Now, this one, it does produce a lot of Briba, so they're good, and they get ripe at the perfect time, right around the 4th of July. Okay. But the main crop figs, and I had this fig for many, 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 many years. So I can't blame the shade or anything else on the fact that it is a little bit late, on the late side of producing the main crop or ripening the main crop figs. I can't blame the shade. I can tell you, you just rule that out. It's just that this particular variation is a little tiny bit late, and all Violet de Bordeaux are a little bit late to have in ground where you can't really get a legitimate early start. They're a little bit late. Okay, you'll get ripe figs, and sometimes depending on the location, if you have a sweet spot or if you're really near a warm structure with a direct sun, like if this wasn't shaded and it was up against a brick house and the sun was pounding on it, well then yeah, you could probably get figs, main crop figs, a little bit earlier to ripen. It's not something that I would remove really from my collection as long as I'm getting some good figs. But it's not one that I would favor as much as many, many others, like Ronde de Bordeaux and a whole bunch of others I can name off. Celeste, everyone this is Peter's honey. Here's another big Peter's honey tree right here, which I neglected to show you last time when I showed you the front and side orchard. This is another very large, this has been here a long time. In fact, this is the original Peter's honey. It goes back so far. I don't even know how far back it goes. I really don't know. I've been here for 45 years, so I mean, it's way, way over 30 years. I don't know how long. Maybe I would say at least 35 years. I don't know, but it's been here a long time, and I've cut it down and cut it down and cut it down. It's quite big now. It's pretty big. And I have still, last year and this year, the main crop figs all got ripe. The Breba, see the Breba? There are plenty of Breba on Peter's Honey. I've been saying this many, many times in many videos. This is a wonderful, wonderful fig because it produces a lot of Breba, which are delicious. They're exquisite. They're sublime. They're better than, the Breba are, in my opinion, better than the main crop figs. And the main crop figs are so good. I don't want to diminish in any way how much I favor this fig tree and its delicious main crop figs, just by pointing out that the Breba are really one of the best tasting figs. In my opinion, if you like this type of a fig and you're just not, if you're getting bored by always eating, or selecting or choosing the so-called berry figs, if you want some variation in your collection, Peter's Honey will offer you all that you need to have in the so-called honey figs, and they are superb. And I'll tell you, when they're perfectly ripe, I desire eating them more than practically anything else in my entire collection. Now, I'm not saying that they're better than Italian 258 or Black Madera in taste. They're different though. So in their own right, they're all just superb. But I wouldn't say that they rival those fig varieties because they're the best of the best. You know that. They're very, very, very good. But I'll tell you what, there are times when I will take my Breba, even my main crop, Peter's Honey, when they're perfectly ripe, and if I had to choose, there are times I would choose the Peter's Honey. I honestly would. And then there would be other times when, of course, I would choose to devour the Italian 258 and the Black Madera and certain other delicious figs that you might find in the Adriatic family, so on and so forth. There are many fine tasting figs, in different various families that are worthwhile growing, and I don't like to put them against one another. I don't like to, which one's better? Well, you see these tests and things, you got 5 different figs that someone picks and puts well, what about the fact that maybe some of those figs weren't perfectly ripe that day, and maybe another variety was perfectly ripe that day? Well, that makes all the difference in the world with figs. One day can make a difference, a huge, enormous, gigantic difference, all the difference in the world. So you have to be very careful about comparing these figs on the YouTube. I don't. If you notice, I don't like doing that. I don't weigh them and all that. It is what it is. What you see is what you get. And I love variety. I love some variety in my collection. I admire and respect all of the different varieties. I enjoy them because I would get completely, totally, and absolutely bored if all I could eat was, berry figs. I don't want to do that. So this is a tree that I've never seen anyone in any videos anywhere, and I mean that. And come on, I challenge. Okay, here's the challenge. That really has a beautiful Peter's Honey tree, and all of these videos that we are seeing on YouTube all the time, I don't see any beautiful Peter's Honey trees like this that people are familiar with, that have been growing for years and understand how delicious the Breba are, and that have them out in full sun and have fed them properly and raised them or grew them properly like I try to do, and I've tried to, by example, show you. I've never seen anything really comparable to this. And I'm not saying, mine are the greatest, and just look at my Peter's Honey. Listen, I'm saying that the variety itself is fantastic, and it hasn't reached its potential in terms of people becoming aware that it exists. That's why I keep pounding, on the table for people to listen, because there are other varieties too that are overlooked. And some of these varieties other varieties are being sold on Fig Bid and sold this way and that way, and I understand that some of the other varieties carry a higher price, okay, because they're not as common. But as a fig collector, somebody that's in it for collecting figs for yourself and for your own use, like I am, okay, you want to be cognizant of the fact that there are some very, 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 very dependable, reliable, delicious varieties that are well adapted to these harsh regions of the country that you can select for very little money. They're not very costly compared to the others, and you'll be far more satisfied with the results, okay? Now, having said that, I want to get back to the original point. I don't want to run this video too long, but I started this video by showing you these clippings. I've been pruning this tree out, this Alma, okay? And there's a lot of cuttings there. And you might say, oh my God, Lou, you could be selling these on FigBid. Well, you know that I don't sell. I've never sold a tree in my life. I've given hundreds away. And in my day, before figs became very popular, we traded, and we through camaraderie, we swapped different varieties and things like that, and we had a wonderful, wonderful time in those days. And I don't have anything against selling. I just don't do it yet. Okay, if I ever do put any of these fig varieties, my varieties that don't have fig mosaic virus, they don't have any disease. You can see, you could just look at them. They're just so healthy. Look at them. I will do it. I will do it because I want to perpetuate my fig varieties, the ones that I've had for years and years and years, these family heirlooms too. I want to get them distributed out in the fig community. I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to do it, not right now. I have more things I want to teach, or I want to share. That's a better word. And when I've exhausted that, then I will move on to the next phase of this whole process. I can tell you this, I'm not the type of person to start something that I don't finish. And the finish will be, I will get these distributed one way or another. I will pick some distributors and I will get the cuttings to them. I will put them on FigBid. I will get some people that need money. Not that I don't need money, I do need money, but I don't want to sell things, okay? And again, I don't hold a grudge, or I don't have a disdainful view towards anyone who does, because of course they should be able to, and that makes fig varieties available to everyone out there in the fig community, and it promotes the hobby of figs, and I think it's a wonderful thing. I think there's people out there that are unscrupulous and shouldn't be selling, and you shouldn't be buying from, but that's another subject for another time. But you can try to avoid them. There's some good guys out there. There's some really good guys. I don't want to just name one or two because I might not name the others that are really good. There's some good ones out there. I hope that you'll be able to distinguish which ones are good and which ones are bad. Eventually, maybe we will make a video about somebody, a number of people's opinions about that. Maybe we will. But here's the point. The point is, please be patient. Subscribe to me. It's going to come. It's going to happen. I cut hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beautiful cuttings, hundreds off of all my varieties, including Black Madera, Italian 258, all of the good varieties. Look, they're beautiful. They're productive branches. They would make wonderful cuttings, okay? Off my Peter's honey, look at them. They're just so healthy. Can you see them? And I know. I mean, I feel bad too. I wish I could just give them to you. I just really wish there was a way for me to abracadabra them right into your yard. I really wish that I could, but I can't. I can't right now. I'm very busy in my life. I've got so many projects going on. My life isn't over yet. I'm an older guy, but I'm pretty healthy. I hope, because I eat a lot of figs. I eat a lot of figs and blueberry. But I think I'll be around a little while, and my parents have lived into their 90s, and you know, I feel good. I don't have anything wrong with me. Some of you might not quite agree. At least you might think that, well, I don't know if Lou's starting to lose it or not, you know, intellectually. But I don't think that I am. I feel I'm the same guy I was 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, really. So I'll be around a while, and I have a few more things I want to convey to you, and then I will get to the task. I promise you, I will get to the task of distributing these beautiful, wonderful, fantastic fig varieties, very healthy, by the way, fig varieties out there in the fig community, because I want them to go on into perpetuity. It's as simple as that. I want them to go on into perpetuity. Because if they get lost, if they're not distributed out there in the fig community, in the fig world, then I'll be very sad. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to occur. My mission will not have been complete. So just, I will find a few people that maybe are unemployed or that I trust and get them to help me, and I will get them on FigBid or whatever I have to do to get them distributed, and we will do it. We will get it done. So be patient. Okay? With that, thank you for visiting. I always enjoy your visits. This video is a little longer than I had originally intended, but I wanted to get that out there. Because I do get people asking, and I understand. They say, well, you know, what are you doing that for? Why are you pruning all those branches? You could be providing those to the fig community. You could be, distributing them. And I know that, and it hurts. It does hurt. I promise you I will. I promise you I will, and I will get the job done. And I would hope that you will cherish, once you receive these cuttings, I just hope that you will cherish them as much as I do. Because I can tell you, I love my fig trees. Each one is a friend. I consider every one a friend. And I mean that. I love them. I have a tremendous reverence, regard, respect, and admiration. I adore them. I love my fig trees. I love them all. And I want you to have these varieties. I want you to put these in your collection. The ones that you want, the ones that will be suitable and adaptable to your climate. I want you to do that. Here I have a bunch. I've been giving them away to friends and family. And here I have some Smith and some Bordeaux that are growing so beautifully in the ground that I should show you this. I almost forgot. Here I have some, not long ago, these are some black Madera. Look, and they're coming up. Look at that. Okay, they're going to be fine. They're going to make, and these are all Italian 258s, all of them. Let me try to get you in close. Look at that. They're doing magnificently in my little garden here. This one doesn't seem to be doing anything, not yet. But you don't get 100%. I wouldn't rule it out though. And this one's doing okay, and that one's doing okay. Let's get these grass out of here. See that one over there? Okay, these are doing good. These Italian 258s, they're gonna grow. And that's one too, right there. Where is it? I can't see too good through here. Right there, I guess. But the Italian the black Madera, they're gonna be all right. Okay, in the ground, in the shade, where I had this other garden before of fig cuttings, in the shade of this huge, very large and magnificent Sajo persimmons. And let's go underneath this tree. And I explained before that this is how I grow cuttings. I got to these a little late. This tree is huge, just like a gigantic umbrella, 35 feet high. Okay, but look how big this tree is. Look at it. Look how big this tree is. Okay, but I explained before, you see how a little bit of sun is filtering through the leaves right now. The afternoon sun is filtering through. They get just enough sun to keep them wanting more and to go through the propagation process, so I can propagate them successfully, so they'll grow, but not too much to dry them out and reduce the odds that they will succeed as cuttings. Because I got these in the ground a little late this year. I would have liked to have gotten them in about a month earlier, but I just couldn't. It just didn't work out. So these haven't been in the ground that long, just a few weeks, but they're doing very well, and I can tell that they're going to be successful. I've had them. I've done this before, and I'm in the shade. 85% of the time, these are in the shade of this tree. They get tiny little pieces of sunlight that shine through here and there. And that's the way you can do it if you want to propagate figs in the ground, which is one of the best ways, which I don't see many videos about. You don't need to put them in little pots, and it's very hard. I mean, you can do that. I mean, I've done it many times. You've done it, I'm sure, many of you. But it's so easy for them to get a disease. It's hard to regulate the water. This is easy. This is the old Italian man way. This is how we did it all our life. We just took some cuttings and stuck them in the ground. They grow. Okay, put a little bit of grass clippings around, try to keep them moist, not overwater them, not let them get too dry. Keep them in the shade, partial shade, allow for them to get some sun, and there it is. But anyway, getting back to my point, be patient. This is the Nikita's gift. I love these persimmons. Oh my God, I love them. And here's my beautiful, beautiful Sicilian Dark. Look at this thing. Wow. I bet you see a big difference from even a couple of weeks ago when I made that video about the first walkthrough. I don't even know when it was. Maybe it wasn't even 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was. But maybe it was more recent than that. I lose track, everyone. But look at this thing. It's really magnificent, isn't it? Look at all the figs. Look, I will say this, but it's true. I'm not going to hold my camera back where you can't really look at them. I've seen that. Look, you see it. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of figs on this tree. Just this tree alone, there are hundreds. And this is a wonderful variety to have in your collection. And I promise you, I will get it out to you. I will do it. In due time, I will get them out. I am pretty close friends with several very good distributors. And one way or another, I will get them out to you. Okay, I've worn out the subject. Thank you so much again for your visit. I hope you're having as much fun as I'm having. I'm having a delightful time. I'm enjoying myself so. This is my time. This is the time of year that I thrive in. I just love this time of year. I just love it. And I'll love it more when all of these figs start to get ripe. And then after that will come the persimmons and all of the other things that come into season each and every year that we can rely upon and depend upon and look forward to. That is what makes gardening and being a figster so remarkably enjoyable and satisfying. Good day.